Hello, beauties. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Joyful Biobelle, a makeup artist based in Lagos, Nigeria. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. If you're new here, thank you for joining. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your family and friends. Yes, help us grow this channel. Yeah, so today's video is on this light skin model. It's a pretty much explanatory, self-explanatory video. So keep watching. But I'll take you through some of the process. Now, before I started, I cleansed her face using micellar water. Now, I went ahead with moisturizer. I used a simple moisturizer, rich moisturizer on her. Then I went ahead with the Omari Code. It's a Nigerian brand primer to prime her face, the mattifying primer. I primed her T-zone, that's her forehead, bridge of her nose, and her chin area. Now, I went ahead to apply foundation. I used two different shades of foundation. Yes, because I didn't have an exact shade, I used Sylvie Mark foundation and Jadris foundation. The Sylvie Mark foundation was lighter than her, and the Jadris foundation is darker than her. So I mixed both to get her exact skin shade. Now I'm going ahead to apply using a damp beauty blender or beauty sponge. After applying, what I did here, I did contour. I first did a wet contour or cream contour, as you can call it. I used a concealer, a dark shade of concealer from Sylvie Mark to contour her chin area and the forehead as well. You can also call contour low light, and right now I'm highlighting under her eye area, bridge of her nose, and her chin area as well, a cupid's bow, and her forehead. I used a shade lighter, one shade lighter than her first of all. Then I went ahead to use like 2 shades or 3 shades lighter than her because I wanted the under eye to be very bright. Not too bright, but at least bright enough. This is the highlight, the lighter shade of concealer. Now I'm going ahead with the cream blush. I use a Tehila cream blush palette. I think it was the orange shade I used for her. Now I'm going ahead to contour her nose. I use the same contour I used, the same shade of concealer I used for her contour to contour her the bridge of her nose. But I mixed it with a slightly lighter shade of contour because I don't like the nose contour too dark. Also, if you notice, when I was contouring the nose, I didn't drag. I was just dabbing the concealer on her nose because I realized that if you drag, I don't know if it happens to other people, but me, when I first started this nose contour, and I was using using concealer, when I drag, I find out that I'll be pulling out. That's for the nose. I don't know if it doesn't happen on any other part of the face, but this nose, I know that I should be dragging the foundation that I use. So I just dab, and once I dab, that's it. It stays. Now I went ahead to set her under eye area, every part that I highlighted. I first used the powder to set it before going ahead to use setting powder on it. Now I'm going ahead to set the rest of her face using a powder shade. If you notice, I'm not going to set, I didn't apply the powder on the area that I contoured because I was going to use a contour shade, a darker shade of powder for the cheekbone area and also the forehead. Because there's no point in me using a cream contour a dark cream contour, they're coming and going ahead to use the powder that is her shade. Doesn't make sense, right? So right now I'm going ahead to use the darker shade of powder to contour the areas where I used cream contour. The darker shade of concealer rather. That powder, the compact powder I use is the same brand of this powder palette, which is the Champ Ageless. If you notice, if you look at the powder palette, you will notice that there's that one that I'm using. Yes, that particular shade I used, it has heat pan. There's very, very little powder remaining there. So it's the same shade of powder that I have in the compact. Now I'm going ahead to do the eyeshadow. I already applied Benang Clown White, so I'm using the powder, the same powder I used for contouring her nose on her crease area, so it will blend in with the nose contour. Going ahead with this Morphe eyeshadow palette, I think it's 25A, a dark brown shade. I used the lighter brown shade and I went ahead to use a dark brown shade. When you're doing your eyes, also if just in case you want to do like a black eyeshadow, you start with maybe something bright, like not too bright, but exactly you use like a let me say it like dark brown, not dark, before you move to a very dark brown, then move to black. Because if you just move to black, you might not be able to control it by blending. So once you start with a lighter shade and move, you progress to a darker shade, it's easier to control. Now I'm applying the pigments. I used like they are the three pigments I use is from the same brand, MK Beauty Ninja. I used like green iridescent. It's green. If you look at it, I don't know, you might not be able to notice it from the video, but it's kind of iridescent that if you it's green on one side and you can appear as gold on the other side. And I use another shade like wine kind of. Now I'm going ahead to apply pencil in her waterline. It's from Miracle Cosmetic, Miracle Pencil. I love this eye pencil. It's very, very black. Unfortunately, it has been discontinued. The other options, we have Polar Beauty and we have Mabrook. So if you don't find any, I also use gel liners. Like this particular gel liner I use, Tehila, is a Nigerian brand. I usually use it for the waterline area as well. And it dries. It's also very dark. Now I'm going ahead to do the lips. I use these two different lip shades from Bicham Ageless because that's the same powder palette I used. I mixed it because the dark brown is very, very dark and she's fair. If she was a dark person, I could have used just that. But because she's fair, I had to mix it with a light shade so it to come out lighter. So I mixed both shades to make it a little bit bright for her. I'm using it to line her lips, her upper lip and her lower lip area. This lip stain dries fast, so it kind of like took me a while for me to blend it with this particular lipstick. This is from Nuban Beauty. It's a nude shade. Because that lipstick the lining had already dried up, it was kind of hard, so I had to blend and blend and blend to be able to achieve a flawless lip. I wanted to brighten the lips a bit, so I went in with this Avoir lip stain. And I just wanted to smack her lip. When doing lips, you have to blend. There's no rush in makeup. Especially when you're working with liquid products. If it was cream-based product, it would be easier to blend because it won't dry. But if you are working with a lip stain that dries fast, you have to be very fast and blend. Now I'm doing the reverse contour because I just wanted the contour area to look snatched. You can see the difference. I used her same shade of powder for that. After applying the eyelashes, I had to use mascara to blend her own lashes with the false lashes and also the bottom lashes as well. Now I'm going ahead to apply blush. This is the Beauty Nigerian. It's a Nigerian brand. Beauty blush palette. It's called Girls Night Out. I think Girls Night Out Reloaded. It's a blush palette and it has 2 cream blushes in the palette. Now I'm going ahead to finish up. I'm using the highlighter, a MAC highlighter. The highlighter is from MAC Cosmetics. I love this highlighter for light skin shade. See how it pops and glows. Now finishing up the makeup, I'm dusting off the setting powder under her eye and gently dabbing it in, using the Sephora Micro Smooth Finishing Powder as well. Under her eye is a light shade of powder. These are all called finishing touches. Setting the rest of her face using MAC Cosmetic Mineralized Powder. Now, I'm using the finishing spray from Beauty. After I set the face, I now realized that, I think I need to put gloss on her lips. And then I went ahead to apply lip gloss. I think I'm beginning to fall in love with glossy lips. And this is the finished look. Woohoo! What a beauty! What a beauty! This is fine model. I love everything about this look. The lips, the eyes, the lashes. Oh, see that glow. Everything. The look is giving 100%. So, my beauties, if you are yet to subscribe, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. See you in my next video. Bye.